Okay, y'all, buckle up because this one's got tunnels, tycoons, and some wild speculation. We're talking about Ali Carter, Diddy, and even Oprah Winfrey getting pulled into the mix. Ali Carter is out here claiming she was trafficked as a kid, and not just by random people, but by folks deep in the Hollywood elite scene. She's name-dropping Diddy, talking about being shuffled through these secret tunnel systems that run under rich people's mansions and landmarks like the Getty Museum. Like, we're talking real-life underground ops, not no movie script, and she didn't stop there. She said all this mess been going on at exclusive celebrity parties. You know the kind. Invite only, phones locked up, NDA on arrival type of vibes. Ali even claimed that recent wildfires in LA were set up to destroy evidence, like burning tunnels and shutting down any traces of what really went down. She basically said, "Don't let the smoke fool you," implying all of this was planned to cover up the trail. Now look, this sounds crazy to some folks, but the real plot twist? Carter been saying this before the wildfires even hit. That's what got people side-eyeing and whispering, wait, was she onto something?
Because didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all there will be an accidental explosion? Accidental fire? And the next thing you know, celebrities' homes would be on fire.
So here's where things get extra messy. Ali Carter didn't just go at Diddy, she also threw Oprah's name in the mix, saying that Oprah and other high-ups allegedly tried to silence her, or at the very least, look the other way while it was all happening. And just when Diddy started catching legal heat last year, Oprah moved out the country. Some people think that timing was way too convenient, like sis dipped real quiet. And now folks are speculating, was she trying to avoid heat, or was it just a coincidence? But let's keep it real, there's zero solid proof that Oprah actually silenced Carter. That part is all whispers, no receipts. However, there are people who spoke up about Oprah before too, like Jaguar Wright, who has been calling out Oprah for years. Same with Dr. Umar Johnson, who's been side-eyeing Oprah's connections to all kinds of powerful figures. They're saying she moves like someone with a lot to protect. Ali Carter's name been floating in the dark corners of the internet for a minute, but now that Diddy's facing lawsuits and getting dragged in court, her stories are starting to sound a little less out there to some folks. If you've been keeping up with the mess around Diddy, Ali Carter's name might sound familiar, but Sis's claims go way deeper than just Diddy. Ali Carter isn't exactly a household name, but the claims she's made, if even 10% of it is true, we are looking at some of the darkest secrets in Hollywood. According to her, this is how kids, including herself, were moved around to attend private, sinister parties hosted by celebrities and elites. She says these weren't just parties, these were rituals. And let me tell you, the language she uses, she describes scenes that sound like something out of a horror movie. Flashing lights, music stopping, and people turning into animals.
While I was down there was something that happened. I don't even know what to call it. There was something that sounded like an earthquake, something that sounded like people got into a fight.
She says she wasn't just a victim. She was made to feel like a party favor, literally placed on a table and used. And y'all, she was 15, barely 16, under the care of Riverside County CPS when this allegedly happened. Now, according to Ali, she tried to report this. She says she took her case to Riverside County Child Protective Services, the very people supposed to protect her, and instead they were involved. She claims she handed over 8 months of evidence, and still nothing happened. She even told people she predicted Diddy's arrest months before it happened, and allegedly Oprah's next. She claims after her story went viral back in 2020, her entire life was destroyed. Her family lost their home, their pets, everything, and she believes this was punishment for speaking out. But here's where things get even more intense. Apparently, Ali has been working on sworn affidavits with people helping her document her story. These include names like Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Oprah, Joe Biden, and more. Her team says they've handed this info over to authorities, but nothing's been done. And here's the kicker. They claim they're holding back some of the evidence out of fear. Like if they go public, it'll be thrown out of court. But that also means the public hasn't really seen the evidence either, which is where a lot of skepticism creeps in. People want to believe survivors, but without something concrete, it's hard for folks to fully digest. There are people who hear Ali's voice and they keep posting her clips, sharing sharing updates and keeping her story alive. You can read comments such as these all over the internet. Someone needs to do a deep dive into CPS. Absolutely disgusting. Ali did not naively walk into any party. She was trafficked against her will. You make it sound like she was a breathless, naive admirer. But outside of the internet, mainstream media is quiet. And that's raising eyebrows too. This whole situation is messy. Like, super messy. Some of the stuff Ali says is deeply disturbing, and it echoes what a lot of other survivors have been whispering about for years. But with the lack of hard evidence, people are split. Is she telling the truth? Is this a case of trauma and confusion, or is it a mix of both? And remember, this is her story. Whether it's fully accurate or not, there's clearly trauma here. Something happened to this woman. She deserves to be heard, and her claims deserve a proper investigation, period. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse for her, rumors started circling that she actually went missing. This is beyond chilling. Word is, she's just been taken, like literally snatched up. And now her family is out here, begging the internet to help find her before it's too late. And what's even more terrifying, the people who took her haven't even asked for ransom. So this wasn't about money. Nope, this was calculated, this was planned, this was ordered by some powerful folks in the industry who do not want her coming back. Let's rewind a second. Just a week ago, Ali had hopped on live, warning everybody that her home was broken into. She said strange men had stormed the place and tore it apart. Furniture shattered, belongings tossed everywhere, like something out of a horror movie. She said she was scared for her life. And if anything ever happened to her, it wasn't going to be random. She knew they were after her. And now, she's gone. According to Ali, this wasn't just a robbery. These people weren't trying to scare her. They were looking for something, trying to cover up tracks. And let's not forget, she showed us the damage. She documented the aftermath. It wasn't some cry for attention. It was real. And what's worse, she was forced to move, and somehow they still found her, tracked her down. And this time, they didn't just break stuff, they took her. Now let's be real. Ali's been talking too much truth for some folks' comfort. She's been out here spilling industry secrets, stuff that most people are too scared to even whisper about. But recently, she went way too far. She started talking about alleged private camps run by Diddy and his team. And listen, what she described? Horrific doesn't even begin to cover it. Ali claimed these camps involved dark rituals, young victims, animals, and everything was caught on camera. She said she saw this firsthand while working behind the scenes in the industry. And most of the kids, they didn't survive. The few who did, they were traumatized beyond repair, changed forever. And that's not even the worst part. She said people don't realize how deep this rabbit hole goes. We're talking about little kids being abused in ways that are so disturbing. I can't even say it out loud. Children tied to horse stables, animals involved, ritual abuse that includes blood rituals, satanic ceremonies, and stuff you'd expect to hear in a horror movie, not from a real person recounting her own experiences. She even talked about adrenochrome. Yes, that thing people online love to meme about but have zero clue what it really means. Ali explained how children's blood is harvested, how they're tortured to increase the potency, and how all of it is used to allegedly keep elites young and energized. And y'all, I know it sounds insane, like some twisted Disney horror flick, but this is what she was saying. This is what she claimed to witness in real life. And then there's the missing children. People keep asking, well, whose kids were these? And Ali answered that too. She said most of them were from poor countries, families handing them over thinking they were giving their babies a better life. That's why there were no missing persons reports. No one was looking for them, because to the system, they never existed. Now fast forward to Diddy's legal drama. His arrest paperwork literally mentioned forced labor, kidnapping, obstruction of justice, and bribery. That's not speculation. That's documented. And Ali had already been warning us about this long before the papers dropped. She saw it coming. She tried to raise the alarm, but no one listened until now, and it gets darker. Ali said Diddy's private parties weren't just adult freak-offs. Kids were involved too, boys and girls. And according to her, the boys had it worse. Some were starved so they wouldn't get sick during a denied food, water, even bathroom breaks, so they wouldn't interrupt the events. And when things got messy, it didn't matter. If they threw up on someone, they'd be forced to eat it. If they had accidents, they'd have to lay in it. It's hard to even say out loud, but this is the stuff Ali was sharing. Stuff that made people uncomfortable. Stuff that made people want to shut her up, and now she's gone. Whether you believe her or not, this girl was crying out for help, showing us receipts, telling us names, giving locations, allegations. And instead of protecting her, they came and took her. So yeah, it's dark, it's scary, and it's real. Let's talk in the comments. And don't forget, the Diddy case is heating up, so we might see more of these stories come to light real soon.